just talking about this whole issue of dating, and especially the big thing of sex in dating. And we have our guest here saying that dating doesn't have to just mean sex, and there's so many other areas that we could be looking at and developing. But having said all that we've just said in our last segment, some of the young people out there will be saying, hey, all my friends do it, I've done it, multiple times, nothing wrong with what's there is I'm still fine, I'm still happy, I'm still alive, but it's not just that, right? It's so many more things that I think it'd be fair to tell young people, and to fairly, of course, tell it to them, even through what we've heard, what we've seen, what we've experienced. I think this would be a good time to just spill the beans and tell them, what is the effect, what are the repercussions, what are the consequences. Because not just being alive is not just, I don't have an STD. And we might be even mentioning some of those things, the possibilities of that. So maybe let's get back to you again, Sandra, and give us all your thoughts on this.
I think we need to establish that love and sex are two different things. If you love somebody, it doesn't mean you have to have sex. Because the whole idea of love and practice of love is that it's patient, it cares about the other person, etc. I mean, there's so many good qualities about love. And sex is also a good thing. It's a three-letter word that brings life. It brings enjoyment, I guess, in the context of marriage, in the context of having a one-partner relationship in marriage. That's very healthy. But when people don't have any idea or any principle about what their relationship is into, then there are chances that we make choices that causes us to have, to have consequences we've never even dreamt about. And one of the things why we're doing this is to say to the people out there, we don't want to live life with regrets.
Yeah.
For the rest of our lives, and it's hidden, nobody ever sees it. For example, cannot you say that, I lost my virginity? The thing is, friends, we can't lose our virginity because it's your right to give it away. You can't lose it like find it under the chair. So we, because we're not told, we're not educated, we think that our virginity is something that, we lost it. No. Many times it is a choice of a person to either give it away to somebody they love, or give it away to somebody they wake up the next morning thinking, what's your name? So the consequences, there are many, and it goes right across the age groups, whether you're a teenager, a campus, or even a young adult. There are consequences. And for me, I'm going to hear it from the rest then, it's just losing your whole person. You give yourself to someone I'm very sure you'll never marry if you're a teenager. And then there's this whole idea of who, am I worth just by giving my body, as it's for a girl? Am I worth and am I loved because I'm able to give sexual fulfillment to my partner, which I may not have even spent, any time with. We get picked up along the way in the path of clubs.
So we're talking about self-worth, and even significance, because that's really what's going on inside.
Yeah.
Most young people don't know really what's going on inside. They just feel the need, the urge to merge, stuff like that. But what's really going on inside is developing into adulthood. The thing about sex is this, it's an adult feeling, but yet not having adult responsibilities, and not being an adult yet, and yet having adult feelings. As we're talking about teenager, of course, and a young person. So that's where it goes crazy, because I have all these feelings, but yet the person is developing, and he or she probably doesn't know that what that person really wants is love, not just sex. What the person really needs is self-worth. What the person needs to know is the value of him or her and the significance, right? And I think we want to get more into that, but just talking about virginity, and I'm still wanting to pursue this whole thing about the effects, because I think young people need to know the effect, the 20 years from now. So I thought it's just about virginity, and how we know some married couples who have, let's just use the phrase, lost their virginity. Of course, they gave it away, at a very young age, and they didn't know. It was just a heat of the moment, etc. But it does affect, isn't it, when you finally marry the man of your dreams, the woman of your dreams, and the best gift, sort of, that you personally could have given that person was your virginity. We know this for a fact, especially those of us who are married. And actually, it does a lot inside a person. All these struggles of, can I tell my husband that I actually slept with somebody else before? And you can't offer to your husband the best gift that you actually were given divinely. And that's tough, isn't it? And until we're married, we won't really know it. But now, of course, we're giving early warning to young people that you will feel it, you will know this, and even if you're happily married, that question will still be haunting you now and then throughout your married life, that my husband wasn't the first one I gave the best gift to, and the other way around. And so maybe you want to talk more of this some of these things that we go through and nobody wants to talk about, but it's so real, right? I mean, we counsel couples, and some of them have done it when they were younger, and they struggle, they cry, they said, I wish I didn't. And this is all I wish. I mean, you said regret. And so we don't want young people to live in regret. So let's talk about this for a while.
I think earlier on we talked about how a person is not just a physical being. So when sex takes place, it's not just the body doing it. It's all of you. It's the spiritual you, the emotional you, your mind. And I think it's been said before, the brain, the mind is most important, best sex organ. So it's involved. And so all these feelings, all these thoughts, memories, all of this takes place at one time. It all happens. And although most people will think it's just a physical act, it's not. So everything's involved, and then and when if you do get married one day, not to the same person that you had sex with the first time, all those memories and images are burned into your mind forever. In fact, experts will tell us we never really do forget. That it's just buried, and it comes out. It comes out at the slightest hint of reminder. So now you're married, you're now actually doing it with your spouse, and all those things come back. And because we're ethical beings also, there's guilt, there's questions, there's,
and guilt can lead to a lot more things, right? Which is
because when we did it the first time, we thought it was love. And now we're with a different man, so that wasn't love. So someone who didn't love me was the person I gave my very precious gift to. And so all this feeling of shame and guilt, and also there's this whole problem of when you experience sex for the first time, the context was likely just lust, or it's just passion, while in a marriage is a lot more than that. And I think people do try to recreate their first experience, thinking that is sex, or that is what it's supposed to be. And when they can't get it in their marriage, they get frustrated. They think something's wrong with them, or think there's something wrong with their partner, and they get frustrated, and then they go look elsewhere to find back that same experience. So there's a lot of consequences. I think people need to know that there will be consequences, good or bad. There will be consequences. And we really need to,
So what we also try to say here is that it's not just an act. Because that's as far as most of people think. It's the act, it's my need, it's the urge, it's the act, right? But yet there are 1,001 more things that says, no, it's not just the act. But yet the act will bring you into those 1,001 things that you say to yourself afterwards, I wish I didn't get into the act. So that's why usually the answer to this whole matter of sex is just wait. Right? And of course, we know that it's waiting till marriage, because nothing else gives you that right, nor the readiness like a marriage. does. And we are saying also that even in marriage, there's still going to be challenges and problems. So this is what we're trying to say. We're saying it's not just an act. Please don't just think it is the act, because after that act, it just could be the next morning. The whole world that you never knew and never wanted to go into could have just opened up too early, and you can't handle it because, again, it's adult feeling without the adult responsibilities and without the adult development. And then you find yourself in a place whereby you cannot return, the point of no return. And then it's regret, and living in regret, living in guilt, etc. is not what we want young people to have in their lives. If we really love them, and all of you work among young people, and because we love them so much, we're trying to tell them, hey, think before you act.